for you niggas, no question. You were when a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, trains out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Absolutely. Yeah, buddy. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. We LDBC strong in this mofo, man. Smash the like button, like and share the video if you care to do so. Let's do this roll call real quick because there's a lot I want to get to. Y'all see the meme and y'all know I do things on purpose. My brother Jeff Spark in the building. Vince Fireborn, D-Man. Tay, good evening. Jimmy Bernard, Stormy in the building. Cameron Fields, and Amanda. Chi-Town's finest. What's good? Rod Neal in the building. Todd Swindle, Shogun. Ooh, it jumped on me. Shaquilla Fields, salute. Y'all must have forgot. G. McCall, MXC, NBA D Nice. Let's get to it, family. Let's get to it. Because we had some movement since what, Wednesday, Thursday, all the way up until yesterday. Horatio Drago, where you been, good brother? Good to see you. On commentary, where you been? Salute. Mac the South, salute. If I miss you in the chat, know that I love you. Had a lot of movement, and I can't help but to ask the question: what's the difference between someone showing heart and when someone should retire? I mean, saying that someone should retire should be the result of their last performance. But why is it that certain fighters get extended the courtesy of just having a bad night and other fighters do not? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know where I'm going to go. Tone Brown, what up? Mr. Shelton in the building. John Shotta, salute. You know what I mean? And, we're going to cook on that. Uh-oh, wait. Stormy threw the ninja spot. Let me, I don't know where Stormy went. He's here. He's coming back. He had to handle some business real quick. He threw the ninja pellet. He'll be back in the driver's seat in 2 seconds. But yeah, there you go. You're on mute.
I moved just as you was going to me. I said, damn, let me go grab a bottle of water real quick. I'm moving, then you was ready. What's good, man? What's good?
Yeah, man. We're going to cook, man. We're going to get right down to the smoke, man. So, a couple of things. First thing, Chris Colbert, a.k.a. Elmo. Yes, salute, sis. So Elmo had a fight on, what was it, Thursday?
Wednesday.
Thursday or Wednesday?
Wednesday.
It was Wednesday, okay.
Yeah, Pro Box does that Wednesday thing.
Right. So Chris Colbert, he has a fight on Wednesday, middle of the week. Some people are home from work. He was fighting at an hour where, for those of you to get off work, you could kick your feet up and say, all right, I'm gonna eat some dinner and watch this. And shout out to Pro Box. I like those programs. It's what I call a throwback program. It reminds me, puts me in a frame of mind of like a Tuesday night fights type of thing. From the USA Network. Gems on those cards, man. Gems, absolute gems on those cards. I miss those. Pro Box is putting on some really good matchups. About a month ago, Melvin, salute. We saw Jared Hurd make his return there, and didn't really get the outcome that he wanted, but to see him there, that was pretty good. Their undercards be good. Sendy, the dude that broke Ryan Garcia's ribs, remember him? Ryan, are you okay? He was a co-main event. He won his bout. I like that kid. Let me see. And the main event, I'm just gonna get to the main event because they have some good undercards too. So this isn't a shot at Pro Box. That's boxing. If you like boxing, you can sit through a Pro Box card. They're doing some, and I hear they have their own arena in Florida. It don't get any better than that. I really like what they're doing there. Bill D, salute. So Chris Colbert or Elmo, as I like to call him, he has a fight. And long story short, he didn't look good. He didn't look good at all. He wasn't flashy. He seemed disinterested. I don't know if he had a bad camp or he looked loose. He looked very, very loose. He didn't look like he was in the best of shape. I don't know whether it's because he was fighting at a heavier weight or I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. But if that's going to be his approach to the game, he needs to hang it up before he hurts himself. That's what I'm saying. If that's going to be his approach, because he looked unmotivated. And from round 2, I said, he got to do better than this. That's not the Colbert I saw against El Rayo when he was in the fight. And he was actually trying against El Rayo. He didn't listen to his corner and he got slept. But he was trying in that fight against this kid, Calcito, whatever his name is, and no disrespect to him, because he just started, when he realized that Colbert, because he sensed that this guy wasn't motivated. And by the way, that kid is coached by Benavidez, David Benavidez's dad coaches that kid. So they had a game plan. Demon in the building, salute. They had a game plan. So I'm like, wow. So by round 2 or 3, I said, man, if he don't turn it up, he's gonna get stopped. And his corner told him, yo, I'm gonna stop it if you don't show me anything. And they stopped it, but Chris was uninterested. He was getting walked down. He wasn't slipping any punches, and it was unnecessary. And again, if that's going to be your approach, say goodbye to those $1 million paydays. Maybe he needs to go see a athletic therapist to get his mind right. Maybe he needs to go back down a weight division. I don't know what his deal is. But when you go from being on undercards and pay-per-views, I think he was, and they were putting a lot of stock in this kid. When you go from that to fighting on a pro box card when there's barely 1,000 people in an arena, that's a mental shock. But then you got, if that's his case, he needs to come up off of that ego, because he is exactly where he put himself. And I spoke about that, you know, because his ego he put in front of his training. That's what he was worried about, his marketing, coloring his hair, promoting OnlyFans on his trunks with the gay flag colors on it. I had a problem with all of that. He wasn't focused on the game, and now he's like, man, I was fighting in front of like 15,000 people, and now there's barely 1,000 here. And who am I fighting? And he lost. This is 2 in a row. So if that is his case and he's unmotivated, get out before you get yourself hurt. He's still young. All right. I don't know what's going on with him. I'm not a therapist. I'm not at his camp. I don't know the kid. I don't feel sorry for him. And y'all know why. I speak on it habitually. But where do we draw the line? Is there a line between he showed heart to he should retire? Y'all understand the title of the show now? And I'm going to throw it over to Stormy.
I'll take it and throw it in the trash when it comes to
on a 34 get started. What?
Oh shit. All right, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, but listen, there are some people that are just a lost cause, man. Imagine this: if this guy had incurred several million, what would you get?
If he incurred what? 7 million?
Several million.
Several million?
You know, he ain't even touched the real money.
No.
He hasn't.
No.
He's made life-changing money, meaning that whatever straits he come from have been improved upon. But the ignorance of his disposition and how he presents himself has now allowed that to dry up fast. Mm-hmm. Because look at how, when you see a fighter be so disinterested with his cornermen in the midst of a situation where it's dire for him, and he feel like, hey, I'm good. You know what? The era that I know as trainers, first of all, they wouldn't deal with a guy like he wouldn't even have opportunity to step foot in the gym of certain trainers that I'm familiar with and know of from a past era. However, we see someone else that's like that, but he just on the other side of the pond. That's Ben Whitaker.
I didn't even speak on him on this channel yet. But
listen,
go ahead. Go in.
In his fight last week, where he was fighting Liam Cameron, and Cameron was kind of putting it to him, his corner was talking to him in between rounds.
Yeah.
And this is before he decided to take himself and his opponent out of the fight. They were talking to him, and he's looking all around the arena like this, and his cornerman is like, Ben. He's trying to get his attention. He's like right in front of him. And he's like, and the guy like kind of grabbed his face like, Ben, listen to me. He's trying to talk to him. I've seen these guys before. A lot of them are present day fighters. Some of them I started to see come along in Floyd Mayweather's era. And you're familiar with some of the names.
Yeah.
Zab Judah. Yeah. Zab is a different man now that he's an older man, retired and everything. But he was the precursor to this foolishness that you're seeing now.
Yeah.
A fighter that I say and will go on record and stay and remain on record was more talented than Floyd Mayweather, but could not achieve near the heights of Floyd. And it was due to these circumstances of what we're discussing this evening.
Right.
You see?
Right.
And if he were a true man, he'd tell you and endorse that that's the truth. He lost several years of his career to foolish antics, outside of the ring foolishness. And we saw his behavior after the Tszyu incident. And he incurred a suspension behind that. But guess who he was running with? Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell of an influence, huh? Yeah. But see, when we talk about these things, nobody wants to be the bad guy and tell people the truth. But the best trainers say no to the BS. And we've seen an influx of these men come along. They're making actually more money than the previous generation would make for the same type of fights, whether they are contender type fights,
right,
challenging for a world title, or defending the world title. The money windfall is a bit different. And one of the advantages is all of these false titles that everybody runs around with, a belt on their shoulder. You see, that has given networks and apps and various means of how the fights are broadcast through promotion. That has given them an unreasonable advantage of making more money than what they should be making. Now, I'm not saying that fighters shouldn't make the money that they make, but if you're deeming everything a title bout, then you're robbing the real contending fighters, you're robbing the real champions, and you're robbing the fans of knowledge of who is where.
That's right.
See? And that's why people begin to worship individuals and not really celebrate the sport, because it's been devalued.
That's right. That's the word. Devalued. That's the word. That's the word.
It's been devalued. So when you properly assess this is a great topic tonight, because there's a fine line between who should retire, and who's showing heart. But check this out. Most of who's showing heart is the ones that the sentiment of the public say should retire.
Isn't that funny?
That's amazing. Because that shows you the ignorance of the public. But the
I hope y'all
ignorance
understand that.
comes from the influence
That's right.
of who's manipulating you. I watched the PBC card last night. I saw 2 bouts of guys that I didn't know, and that was the co-main, where Tszyu, I didn't know about him. And it's not because, I was out of loop, not interested. It's just that when you're covering so many fighters and everything, sometimes people slip through the cracks on you. In the first fight, the middleweight bout between Tapia and Savardrin, or whatever the gentleman's name is, that was a heck of a match between 2 men that I had no knowledge of. And I could sit and watch 2 men like that fight every day, because they fought with spirit and representation, pride for wanting to overcome and win, not pride of like, I'm built up, I'm the best, but like in that match, each guy felt that the other guy can't beat him, and they fought. What
if every PBC pay-per-view looked like that? Wouldn't it be your money's worth if you had to reach in your pocket and pay for it?
It would definitely be valuable, right? But what would also happen is you wouldn't be able to sell so many undefeated fighters.
There you go.
Because in the landscape of competition, people are going to lose.
Yes.
And sometimes, like in the main event last night, it'll be someone whom you know against someone whom you may not be familiar with.
But what we got an organic outcome, and that's all I want. An organic outcome. You line them up, clean fighters, and whatever happens, happens. That's boxing.
Yes.
And Tszyu took it on the chin, literally. He wasn't beefing or whatever. He said, better man won. That's it. And that's fine. And hopefully, it takes about a week. Hopefully nobody comes back popping, dirty, whatever. But I'm not going to talk about that until it comes across my virtual desk. But we love organic outcomes. That was a damn good card, and that's all we.
That was probably one of the best cards that PBC has ever put on.
Ever. The card was better than that. I can't think of one.
Ever.
There might have been some names you wanted to see, but even when it's the names you want to see, look, that card last night was better than the whole Canelo and Charlo event. Remember, some of you guys bought Canelo versus Avni Yildirim. Some of you guys bought that. I ain't even going to get on the Gennady Golovkin DAZN crap that y'all purchased. This was crazy. Last night, from start to finish, that was boxing, man. And that's all I asked for. But
and I'm going to tell you something else. Go ahead. You mentioned Canelo. But that's one of the reasons why Canelo jumps ship all the time. Because he doesn't want to be nailed down for accountability in going against people who could possibly challenge him. You see, he'll go somewhere where he can get that bag. But part of getting the bag for his negotiation leverage is he fights who he wants to fight.
There you go.
And see, that's not how boxing is. You see, if nobody was paying for that foolishness, he would be pressured to do something otherwise.
Correct.
So now you see the ignorance of the supporters of the sport, where they are endorsing the foolishness. Yes. And then they want to come back and talk about other guys. Like last night, Tszyu lost. They want to rain down on him and ridicule him when he did something that Canelo would never do.
Now, that right there, this is going to lead into exactly what the title is. Please explain in the most simple of English what you mean about that, because last night I wasn't aware until you told me. And you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to cook on it.
Well, see, this is the thing. Tszyu was the WBO champ until the fight with Fundora. He lost the title at that time. He had a severe injury in that fight that they should have stopped it, but he decided in his corner, decided that he could chuck it out, and he ended up losing the decision, losing his title. Last night, a newly crowned IBF champion, Bakram Murtalazayev, he is a guy who had been around in the division for a while. However, trying to get fights was not easy. And so even going back to the undisputed reign of Jermell Charlo, going back to when Jermell Charlo was a unified champ and Brian Castano was a champ, going back to when other fighters had titles like Jarrett Hurd and Jason Rosario and those guys, you remember, because those belts were separated for a while, remember? Even going back to when you could say Tony Harrison got the title off of Charlo for a while, remember?
Yes, yes.
Well, Bakram was around. He was contending.
Blu-ray in the building, salute, Blu-ray. Blu-ray in the building, salute. Go ahead.
When guys were unifying and beginning to fight for unifications and then later undisputed, he, instead of taking sub-level fights, took step-aside money several times over to allow certain fights to take place, but guys were still not looking at him. And guess what else? He didn't have someone paying off sanctioning bodies to raise his profile in a division. So you didn't know about the guy.
Right.
See, when you got someone paying to keep your name right up in the top 5 or the top 3 and everything, you know, those envelopes make stuff happen. Ask Conor Ben.
So they knew who he was to pay him to say, because you know what? Let me say, and salute the cameraman in that Cash App heavy, says showing support for providing awesome content, bro. Much love and appreciation, sis. Much love and appreciation. Thank you so much. Like I said, they knew who this man was. And no matter how much step aside they gave him when he got his opportunity, he goofed up the money, quote unquote. He goofed up the money, and we got an organic outcome. They paid him off and paid him off. And when we spoke last night, one of the examples I said was Alito Alvarez. He was paid to step aside. I don't know how many times, but when he finally got his shot against
Adonis Stevenson, who was a WBC champion. I don't have the box rec in front of me right now, but Adonis had the WBC belt for a little while.
Correct.
And Alito ended up being his #1 contender.
Right.
For, I think, a couple of years. But Adonis paid him off 3 times.
He paid him off 3 times. Right.
To step aside for other things that Adonis wanted to do.
And I think he jumped networks around that time. He paid him off 3 times, jumped networks. Kovalev was stuck on HBO. And then when he finally fought Alito Alvarez, eventually, I forgot what network they fought on, Alito, he beat him. I think he stopped him.
Yeah, he stopped Kovalev, knocked him down and everything. Knocked him out.
So, you know, and then people were like, wait a minute, who is this guy? Yeah, he was
Crusher.
He crushed the Crusher. And then people are like, well, who is this guy? And see, with people, why we're bringing this up is because don't think this might not have been an upset like you think. It's not an upset. Everyone knew who he was. I used the same thing with Vernon Forrest before the Ricardo Mayorga debacle. Shane Mosley, he was Shane Mosley's rival from when they were amateurs. He was whooping Mosley's ass since the amateurs. And while Mosley had a particular look, reading between the lines, he had a particular look, he could fight, and he was running around with Oscar De La Hoya. They were even freezing out Floyd Mayweather at that time. And Vernon Forrest was there the whole time. And he was a decorated
Oscar
amateur.
would never say Vernon's name. Oscar would never.
Oscar never said his name. Now listen, y'all. This is like in the early 2000s. I want y'all to understand something. This was before the internet got hot and everything else. Vernon Forrest was a decorated amateur. Everybody knew who he was. So if you want to apply the term duck to anybody, it was Vernon Forrest. Shane Mosley, when he fought him, he didn't have to fight him. You know why? Nobody would have held his feet to the flames because it's Shane Mosley. No one knew about Vernon Forrest, but he had an identical record. And if I'm not mistaken, an identical KO ratio. And then when he finally got his opportunity, he whooped Shane's ass not once, but twice. So things like that happen. But I'm bringing that up to say this. These guys knew who these once you hit step aside, and it's multiple times, everybody knows who he was. Everybody knew who this guy was. So Bakram, that's why you can't listen to Vegas all the time. Not all the time. Not all the time. That was crazy. And I said, man, and I didn't know when I spoke to you, I said, wait a minute, they step aside money how many times? I said, no, they knew who this guy was. Left hook, fight over. 3 rounds. 3 rounds. And I was talking to Tay Jones earlier today. The brother that dropped, what's his name, Gausha, that dropped Tszyu.
Gaucher, yeah.
He went 12 rounds. Damn, I gotta look it up because Tate just told me. But what we was doing, we're letting you know Tszyu can fight, but like I told you last night on your live stream, he's a 2-dimensional fighter, man.
Yeah.
He only knew one direction. I look at him and now I see Ricky Hatton. I see Mike Tyson. I know that's blasphemous for y'all, but what I'm saying is he got to think outside the box, man. He got to think. There was no plan B, plan Z. There was nothing. All he knew was
tough. In the fight against Fundora.
Right.
If you're going to continue to go on and fight, you can't fight like you were fighting before the incident. You have to make an adjustment.
Right.
And he didn't make adjustments, and Fundora found a safe point and stayed within that framework. Even though Fundora didn't like to fight that way, he finally was in a situation where he was forced to fight that way, or he would have gotten knocked out again. See, that's the thing. Fundora's people have been trying to get him to box from range and use distance. And
when he did it, he looked better.
And box. He turned it into an easy trick.
Now, Fundora, he got starched by Brian Mendoza. Now, I didn't hear anybody saying, because that was a bad knockout. And when he sat up, he just didn't want to get up. I said, oh, man.
And nobody talked about him quitting either.
Nobody talked about him quitting because he could have got up, y'all. But he didn't finish. And then Tszyu beat Mendoza. So I said, But no one said Fundora was done. Nobody said that. And then he comes back and fights Tszyu, and although there was like a cut, I noticed he's using his length now. He's using that jab now. So I said, somebody got in the camp and said, what are you doing with this inside stuff, making things harder than it needs to be? And he changed. So I want to see how he looks in his next fight, because now it's intriguing. But my point is, I don't recall memes about him. I don't recall anyone saying he was done. Because that kind of thing is reserved for my people, these people. And speaking of my people, these people, is Chris Colbert done? Is there plan B, plan Z? Can he go back down to 113 bars? Or is he done? I don't know. It's up to him. Where the memes at? Should he retire? Where the memes? He's too young for that. He's a father. He better get right. He better get right. But did he show heart? Or did he fight a stupid fight? There's only certain things reserved for certain people. Devin got knocked down. What? Three times? Three times. And I'm seeing a bunch of memes with his ass in the air, which makes me wonder what dude is doing that. And you know, I heard Champside say something today. You guys that make memes of the fighter you hate in their worst moment in their career, that is the corniest, gayest, foul thing you could ever do. You're not a fan. How does it feel to be a hater? I mean, that's just the worst thing ever. And I just wanted to say that. But what's the difference between Devin getting up and finishing the fight and, I don't know, Arturo Gatti? No one ever said Arturo Gatti should hang it up. No one ever said that. And he's gotten slept badly. No one has ever told him to hang it up. Tyson Fury been knocked on his ass several. This last thing that happened with him and Usyk, it's gonna be worse in the rematch. I'm just letting you know that. No one says he should hang it up. He finished the fight on his feet. No one said he should hang it up. Devin finished on his feet. He should hang it up. Deontay. I remember after the second Fury fight. No, Wilder's done. It was nothing but a nigga doing that. Wilder's done. He's done. Wilder's done. He's done. You guys, you knuckle draggers never seem to amaze me.
And guys who are showing resiliency and the desire to persevere, move forward, they are being vilified as, you know, washed and things of that nature. And guys who are inexplicably, you know, in the dark, actually lights been turned out. And they really should consider, you know, maybe doing something else and walking away. Their excuses are being made for them. And, you know, they just sit up and they buy into the fact that, well, all he needs is an adjustment here. And if he could do this and that, but he didn't do it. This is why he's been slept. This is why he's out. You understand? It's like we saw Colbert against El Rayo, right? We saw what happened to him. We saw Anthony Joshua back in September against Daniel Dubois. Did we not see that? And these people are still making excuses for these guys. And then you turn around and you have a person like Devin Haney against Ryan Garcia, who got up after being dropped every freaking time and still competed and still won the majority of the rounds that he wasn't knocked down in. We saw a guy last night get dropped 3 times.
Yep.
And he dropped the other guy 1 time, and it ended up being a damn draw.
Yep.
So what are we looking at? And what type of assessment are you guys making because you favor one person being a loser?
That's right.
You know, that shows how ignorant you are. And then if a guy whom you happen to favor in totality, if something happens to him, you disappear like a fart in a heavy breeze. Yeah. Who did that? You smell that? Oh, it's gone. Yeah. You disappear just like that.
Has anyone as much as they clown Devin, has anyone ever said that he has heart other than us? Has anyone said, yo, you know, I don't fuck with Devin, but he had heart? Has anyone said that? Because I haven't heard it. I haven't said it. Okay. Same thing with Deontay.
Even a guy who they was rooting for against Devin said it in the aftermath, the beige Smurf. He said afterwards, he was better than I thought he was.
Better than I thought. Better than I thought. Hey, Ryan Garcia quit against Tank Davis. Where were the meetings?
Ryan, are you okay?
Are you okay? Are you okay? Audacity Podcast, JDM, Paul Carrick, Hannibal, salute. If I miss you in the chat, I know that I love you. I saw JC, Michael Ray the second, David Scott the third. They back to back. That's what's up. Blazers, Pip, salute. Mello, salute. You dig what I'm saying? King Corleone, salute. So these comments are reserved for a certain type of fighter. No one could just watch the sport for what it is. You understand? And we're now a day later. Are there any Tszyu memes? And I want to remind y'all of something. He was talking big. Y'all remember the t-shirt he had with his hit list? Wasn't Canelo on that hit list, if I'm not mistaken? Canelo was on that list. Was Bud on that list?
Yeah.
Was Errol on that list?
Yeah, he had a list. I think the list been burned now, but yeah, he had a lot of.
I wonder if that shirt was for sale. Because you know y'all like buying shit.
He probably had it made. You know how we do that now. It's like
yeah. But speaking of shit for sale, I'm still looking for the people that bought this. Y'all remember it? Y'all remember when
1,000 pounds,
1,199 pounds, and then the other one with the gloves was 1,099 pounds. When they signed to fight Fury versus AJ, and Fury thought he wouldn't have to honor his contract. Remember, this went up for sale. I didn't make this up. And remember when I was asking, I said, "Well, who bought this?" Because the fight is never happening. Yo, listen,
Bro,
this fight is never happening.
Dude, wherever you got that, I bet that ain't even out there no more. I'm so glad that you kept that and held on to
it. It was on Fury's website, bro. That's where I got it from. It was on Tyson Fury's website. I'll never forget it. And I said, let me screenshot this because I kept talking to Tay. And I said, yo, is this something I'm missing? He said, we still in litigation. I don't know what ESPN is talking about. I don't know what Fury's talking about. He said, we are in litigation. And it was on BoxRec, and I'm like, man, these dudes don't know what the people are clowning us. Oh, it's happening. He's fighting AJ. Yeah. Did you buy those shorts and gloves for 1,000 quid? Did you? You idiots. Still waiting on that fight. I want to know who bought that and were they giving back refunds. See, you guys are gullible like that. And you know the only people that bought that were people that hate the truth. If you unconditionally hate Deontay Wilder, they'll look, man, let me tell you something. I'm not in the business of making you like a person that I support. I'm not. I watch boxing for what it is, which is why after a fighter that I support, they lose, I can still come back and do my show daily. Because I'm about the sport. You understand? You understand? That's the difference between myself and Stormy and the rest of you clowns. How did remember when I told y'all there's Manny Pacquiao channels right now just sitting there with dust on it, but they got 20,000 subs. You know how they got those 20,000 subs? 4 years of Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather, people were subscribing to them. This is before there was a monetization AdSense program. They don't know, or they didn't realize if they kept at it, as soon as they started that, they would have had the watch time, and they'd have been grandfathered in to the AdSense program. All they had to do was keep talking boxing. But you know what? If they weren't talking Manny Pacquiao, nobody cares what they had to say. Didn't I say that about a lot of these Tank stations? Eventually, Tanks is going to go away. He's going to retire or whatever have you.
Pretty quickly, too.
It's gonna happen, bro. It's gonna happen.
You know why? Because the game changes, bro. It changes fast.
It changes fast.
You know what? I liken it to, and I've said this so many times. So if you heard it before, you know, you're gonna hear it again. I liken the sport of boxing to like the NFL and the draft. You know, you could have a star running back on your team, and he could be maybe 1,200 yards a year, a season. You could be on your team for like 3 or 4 years. and you pick up a guy in the draft who can potentially beat that, his average yard per carry and everything, and they'll shop that dude around. The dude that they had that took them to the playoffs and everything, they'll get rid of him and draft a new guy because they can sign the new guy for a smaller contract, you know, over the first 3 years, and get that same 3 years and possible, potentially better production out of him. You know what I mean? And so while these guys are hanging around, not doing what they should do to establish themselves legacy-wise and everything, the game passes them by. I remember it was 3 years ago, maybe. It might have even been longer because time begins to get away from me. I had said about Anthony Joshua, he was not getting better as a professional fighter. He was winning fights, but he wasn't showing levels of improvement. He's like, he went from being like this to now he's like that, you know.
Right.
I think he's been the same fighter since he fought Dillian White. He hasn't gotten better. But astonishingly, Dillian White got better, which is why it was so interesting that Hearn was never really interested in letting them have a rematch with one another. Think about that for a minute. So what I had said was, in the midst of that, I had said, Joshua, the way he's going about his business, he's going to muck around and the younger fighters are going to catch up to him. What happened in September?
That ain't take long, did it? That ain't take long. Blink of an eye. Blink of an eye. They're going to catch up. And this is what we say about boxing. Look at the heavyweights. Look at who's on their way out. The people that we were really pushing to fight together, right? Deontay, AJ. Remember when we were just saying, yo, look, these brothers need to get together, fight, and figure it out before. And now look, between Daniel Kinahan and AJ getting poisoned in New York, yes, he got poisoned. Now look. And everybody done caught up. Now I know that Zhilei Zhang is older than everybody, but he don't have those boxing miles on his body like Deontay and AJ got, like Canelo got. Let's go to Canelo for a second. You think he didn't know about David Benavidez from like 8 years ago? They knew he was there the whole time. So now the world is caught up to him. He could bounce around to different weight divisions and everything. This kid's still there. And right off the heels of Benavidez, who comes along? David Morrell. It never ends, no matter where you go. But here's what's funny. Here's the business side that I can't stand. How many of you unconditional fans are going to support his lifestyle by watching the shitty product? Who paid for Abner Yildirim when Anthony Durrell fought on the same night? Who did that? Why would y'all do? Y'all hear what I said? Anthony Durrell fought on the same night that he fought Abner Yildirim. They could have fought. They could have fought each other. This is not a conversation about who wins. We're saying that I would have had more interest in watching Anthony Durrell versus Canelo Alvarez and Abner Yildirim, his sparring partner. You know, y'all like to throw that out. Oh, he's fighting the sparring partner. Well, exhibit A, B, C, D, and E. Right there. You understand what I'm saying? So then when we look at these fighters that are actually running around trying to get stuff done, Deontay was trying to fight everybody. Devin Haney's trying to fight everybody. Even right now, and you see...
And hold on, before you go further, with what you said about Deontay, he was trying to fight everybody. Guys were giving up rankings and hopping divisions, leaving the WBC to avoid Wilder.
That's right.
And that's another form of freezing a fighter out of opportunity, keeping him from making money. I'm telling you guys, when you don't really see things for what they truly are, because Wilder was a mainstay. Remember, at one point, he had the title for what, 4-5 years? It was he and Gary Russell Jr., right? It was the two of them were the longest reigning champions with WBC titles. The two of them. And Wilder was approaching those 10 title defenses. This is before he fought Fury. You know? So if you think about it, he had guys vacating and leaving. Joshua left the WBC rankings. Prince Charles Martin, when he got access to that IBF belt, he went and fought Joshua, who was with Matchroom and DAZN, and damn it, Prince Charles Martin was with PBC. And he left under the so-called advisement of Al Heyman.
Literally bought that belt for $8 million.
If they're gonna offer you that amount of money, man, I can't tell you not to take it, you know. But you can tell him that it's a ransom, and that if you remain in-house, win, lose, or draw against Wilder, we're still gonna take good care of you. How about that? At some point, we'll get you another title shot. How about that?
Salute, Joe. I see you. Salute, Joe. Sure will in the building. Steve L. the Max. Salute.
You see,
salute. Yeah, no,
those
you're right.
type of things, nobody's thinking about that. And why didn't a sanctioning body, a racist sanctioning body like the WBA, throw their belt in a Wilder fight so that he can compete for 2 belts, stimulate the division and competition that he's facing? But they just, oh, Joshua is going to fight Klitschko. Well, we'll put our belt in there too, and we'll let him fight for that vacant belt too. What the hell was that?
Them trying to get bread off of his earnings. And
Not only get bread off of his earnings, but keeping the belts away from Wilder.
Yep.
This is something that has been going on a long time. Just like when Teofimo told Devin Haney and told on himself and the PTB and those behind the scenes that we had a meeting and we're going to freeze you out.
Want me to play it?
Please.
Y'all don't know what he's talking about? Oh, and before I play what he's talking about, never forget, Matchroom signed King Kong Ortiz when he was AJ's responsibility. He signed him, and that fight never happened, y'all. Never forget that. But this is Teofimo Lopez back in 2018. I saw this video, and I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? And then I found out. Listen carefully. This is Teofimo.
Hey, Devin Haney made a comment, you know, trying to make whatever it is. But at the end of the day, Devin, you don't know. The WBC is not going to have you, even if you do the competition, they're not going to have you fight for the title. You can get mad at everything. I'm fighting for the title after this fight, for the IBF. And then after that, me and Loma for all 4. And where are you? You're not going to get a shot, bro. And you don't know that, but we do. And that's what we did. I'm not going to fight more fights. So it is what it is, man. Talk what you got to talk, my dude. But at the end of the day, you're not becoming a world champion at 135.
Now, that was 2018, y'all. Do you know that there was an opportunity for them to fight at 140 as soon as Devin got back and he got up and walked away from the table? Where's the memes dragging this yo, how you touch $1 million and your mouth look like a Sharktacon from Transformers is beyond me. That's just wild work right there. But he's disgusting. But how come no one's talking about him ducking Devin again in a whole new weight class? Salute to my brother Brandon in that Cash App heavy, man. Salute to you, good brother. Much love and appreciation. Thank you so much. So nobody want to talk about that? You heard what he just said? That was 2018. We're in 2024.
Entertain the fact that he's running around and keeps saying Bud's name, but they're not putting him categorically in with who his contemporaries are in his weight class. There are so many guys at 140 for him to face. And check this out. With the success that Brian Norman Jr. has had and now is a world title holder himself, he ain't even interested in fighting him. And that's a guy who has a title that's not fully established yet, but he's on the come up. So what you can see with Teofimo is he's happy being a guy that you guys might mention his name or whatever, but he ain't done anything. He's not doing anything. He won't be anything. And guess what? That door is closing on him as well.
But wait a minute, Stormy. They're going to get mad at this. And I hate Tszyu, but listen carefully. I'm looking at his body of work. He's done more than Tank.
Whoa! What the that's kind of pretty before it gets started.
Whatever, I do what I want.
Where's the lie? I look at Teofimo and I hate that kid. Sugar Free Mars, big sis, salute. I hate that kid, but I'm be talking about the Hall of Fame tomorrow because I'm still on that. If they stop fighting right now, Teofimo says, I'm done. Tank says, I'm done. Right now, and I'm looking at the resume, Teofimo can say, I've been unified. He'll tell you he was undisputed, which is not true. But he can say he had 3 belts, which he did. He fought Lomachenko and beat him, which Tank didn't do. Went to 140, got another belt, which he has. Now, circumstances aside, that's all you need. His accomplishments. That's it. And remember when I said to y'all, wait a minute, he was at 135 the whole time doing all of that. How come Tank never say, yo, Tszyu, shut the F up before I come slap the teeth out your mouth? Never said it. Why do you think I told y'all? I think Tank is scared of him. Now he's calling him a monkey, and he hasn't said anything. So either he's in bed with the dude, or he don't want no smoke. Or let me see, because me and Stormy talked about this. Let me see. Wait a minute. Let me go to my little wall, my conspiracy theories. Let's do this. Okay, Teofimo called him a monkey, whichever monkey want to get the banana. He hasn't said anything. It's been a month. Okay, let's see. Okay, but Teofimo, he's clearly a racist, but wait a minute. He was seen training with Canelo Alvarez. But wait a minute. Canelo Alvarez and Teofimo training together, and Tank don't say anything about when people say, nah, Canelo's the face of boxing. He don't fight with them. So silence is co-signing, and Teofimo Lopez, he hasn't shot back at him. Oh, wait a minute. What does Canelo and Tank have in common? They both aren't fighting their contemporaries. I think the fix is in. I think it's one big orgy. I think it's one big orgy of collard greens and jalapenos, and it stinks. It smells like poo gas. TD Hart in that super chat, much love. He says, the Titan and the Sensei are in full effect. Boxing is still exposed what it is. Didn't expect the son of Tszyu to get done like that. Well, this is what happens when we get organic outcomes. That's all I want. You see, and shout out to Turk out of Sheik. You know why? We got an organic outcome. Now, you can say what you want about the Bivol and Beterbiev fight. I have my own suspicions about what happened there. But I've been getting organic. That 5 versus 5, that was an organic outcome. That's it. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. DOG, salute. Jason, salute. I don't know what to tell y'all. All I want is organic outcomes. I want the best to fight the best. But I'm going to talk about that International Boxing Hall of Fame tomorrow, man, because things are crazy. Take over for me 1 second, Stormy.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, when you talk about these guys leaving their legacies, what's going to happen is they'll be remembered for what they did and didn't do. for those of you who are counting their pockets and the money that they draw in, I would ask that you check back with them a few years after they've retired and see where their financial standings happen to be. Because they've already shown you during the course of earning that they don't have enough intellect to handle their affairs appropriately. Getting run-ins with the law, going in and out of the judicial system, having domestic issues, all of those kind of things drain you in the court of law. So that's just one thing to bear in mind. Don't be surprised if you see one of your favorites in your hometown where you might say he's repping from and he's at Walmart. Can I check your receipt, sir? Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll tell you something. It's going to be more of them than more of those that you see living like Lennox Lewis or someone like that. Yeah.
Y'all better tell y'all favorite fighters right now to start a YouTube channel. Get that AdSense bread. Do something. Everybody on here.
And even if they do something like that, the only reason why they'll be able to thrive or whatever is on the popularity of who they were. Like I know like Andre Ward has decided to come in here into these avenues. And yes, he can get people to come on his platform and everything because of who he was as a professional fighter, right? But he still can't measure up to those who really roll their sleeves up and really go to work. It's really easy that way. You know, for some of us out here, like Tay Jones, who doesn't use his associations and affiliations with people, he does what he does because he wants to do what he does.
That's right.
Do you think that he can't get professional fighters, professional promoters, professional managers, all of this stuff on his show several times a week or whatever if he wanted to do that? You see, it's all about how you take information in. You don't realize that, listen, very few of us can do what we do and have integrity behind it.
That's right.
Many people are chasing something that is ever elusive, and that's that so-called bag.
That's right.
You understand? Because the bag can come and go. You can receive a windfall, and then you can lose it all. What's the difference? Just the area and way that the pendulum swings at a given moment. Yeah.
It's a true story, man. Some of these fighters, I look at their fan base, it's just a fad. I keep bringing up the Manny Pacquiao channels. If you search on here, you'll find them. There was a lot of people that were just loud and very racist, and you know, before YouTube had its, you know, YouTube police, and now they're out here policing the wrong stuff. That's another conversation. But those guys got 10,000, 20,000 subs, and as soon as Manny started losing, they just stopped doing content. You go to their last video and read those comment sections. There were people digging them out when Manny lost to Tim Bradley, and then when he lost to Marquez 4, that was bad. And then when he lost to Floyd, it was over. It was over. But if those fools were in tune with the sport of boxing, like I said, they might have been talking about the sport that they say they love and making some money in the process, you know, maybe. But what I'm saying is they're gone because they're infatuated with one fighter. So they're a fad. And the mystique of Manny Pacquiao is now over with. It's a fad. And I see it with a lot of these fighters. It's a fad. This Tank Davis shit, it's going to be gone before you know it. It's a fad. It's a fad. It's like gold chains. I remember the herringbones, the Cuban links. It's a fad. This Tank Davis thing is a fad. I know it is. But guys like Devin Haney putting in real work, guys like Errol Spence, Bud. It's not a fad. These guys are in the books already. That's why I'm talking about the Hall of Fame tomorrow. It's a conversation that needs to be had. All right. This is just, you know, people are, oh yeah, you know, and what happens when sometimes these guys be around and your fan base, they just grow up. Everybody in the chat, y'all can recall a time when you played with your little army men, the G.I. Joes from the 70s or 80s, and then the Transformers, and then the Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then you don't really recall, but you lost interest in toys, and your interest went somewhere else. Andre Ward put in real work, which is why he can have a YouTube channel and reach out to people, because he's Andre Ward. But I'd rather listen to him talk about the X's and O's, because he's been there. He had a high IQ. But, for example, Tank Davis in 8 years has a YouTube channel. What's he going to talk about? Boxing? He could barely fucking talk. I can't listen to an hour of that. I'm being serious. I can't listen to an hour of that, him stumbling through words and trying to talk boxing. Like, what does he talk? And he ain't even punch drunk. He just talk like that. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And when you step, you gotta go under the right hand and hit it with Baltimore. What? This nigga took minimum punishment and he's talking like that. I'm supposed to listen to him. I mean, I'm being serious. I'm supposed to listen to that shit? How you sound like James Toney and have no one go upside your head like James Toney? James Toney has an excuse. You don't. Why you talk like that? Just hit mix and you'll get 1,000 views or whatever. But your fan base is gonna grow up eventually. They're gonna look at him and be like, yeah, I remember, I used to watch Tank Davis. I'm on the bigger and better shit now. It's a fad. It's a fad. Now, you Negroes watching me going to make your videos. Drew Titan says Tank is a fad. I beg to differ. Well, beg to differ. Beg to differ. Cool. I usually would say, now that I got your attention, but I've been there, had your attention. You have no content unless you're watching me to contradict something that I say. But we're going to see in 5 years where all of these fighters are, where Tszyu is, where Devin is, where Shakur is. I'll even say Shakur, his fan base won't be as much of a fad, depending on what he does. And I'll talk about that more tomorrow. But to bring the shit full circle, what's the difference between someone showing heart and then looking at someone and saying they should retire? I don't get it. Well, I do get it, but y'all won't admit it. Angel Man Freddy. I can't tell you which fights that did it, but I had that was one of my earliest guests, and salute to my brother Trick Nolte. And that broke my heart, because I watched him in the 90s, and I watched him fight Floyd. I watched a lot of his fights, man. I watched him fight Arturo Gatti. I watched a lot of his fights, man, El Diablo. And the way he is right now, at what point in his career people around him say, yo, look, you got to pull the plug on this before you get really hurt. And you can't anticipate when it happens. You could be fresh, and then 3 years later, it could hit you. You don't know. You understand? Some of these fighters walk around for 5 years feeling fine, and then on that 6th year, now, you don't know. You don't know, man. This shit dangerous. Yeah, exactly, Cedric. 1 minute they talking fine, next year you interviewing them like hamburger cheese. Exactly. This shit is dangerous, man. So when you say they should retire, why you don't want to see them no more? What makes you? Let me ask you a question. And salute to TD Harden in that super chat again. He says you didn't have to do that Tank voice time. Yeah, I do. That kid's retarded. That kid's retarded. He is. He's a savant. I wouldn't trust Tank Davis to make me a hamburger. And I don't even eat meat. I be like, yo, let me get a veggie wrap. There be bacon and all kinds of gravy. I'm like, what is this? You asked for in Baltimore. Huh? Get me your manager. Look, don't fire Corky. Don't fire Corky. Bless his heart. All right? Just, I asked for a veggie wrap. Give him a break. Give him a break. God damn. Kid's retarded. If he wasn't, this is what I'm saying. That's why you got to count your blessings. If Tank was not boxing, where the fuck would he be? Think about it. If Floyd was not a savant boxer, where would he be? Think about it. These cats need to be here. But since you're here, and I'm willing to pay money to see you do what you do what you do, can you at least beat up your contemporaries? Why am I a villain for asking for that? Huh?
And listen, can we throw, along with Tank, can we throw his coach in there too? You know, it's like, you know, the blind leading the blind. It's like,
how will we
really
take that fight though if he ain't gonna let us do what we do? Fuck.
Every time that guy conducts an interview, bro, he just sinks further and further into the abyss. You know, the quicksand is hitting him somewhere about here right now, right about yon here. Only thing gonna be left is them glasses floating on top of the quicksand with the chain on it. You know,
Yo, they're gonna call up BFTB, be like, yeah, who's Tszyu? Like, yo, that's just my man. Yo, tell Tszyu to stop talking. That nigga Tszyu. Man, shut up. Shut up and do what you said you was gonna do. I just want you to play your contemporaries. Baltimore. I just want you to beat up the dudes around you. Look, man. If you do anything in your career, Tank, can you at least punch Teofimo in the face? Can you give me that? Or can you? Because you know what Bill said about Tio? Right hand of God, y'all might have heard him say, didn't he say that Teofimo fight like a brother? Didn't he say that?
yeah.
And I said, wow. Because, you know, Tio does have good footwork. And you know what? He's not going to stand there in front of Tank. And Tio got some power. Okay, fine. You don't want to give us... Can I ask y'all a question? He couldn't fight Sandor Martin. Wouldn't y'all rather have him fight Sandor Martin than Lamont Roach? Huh? I mean, come on. Anyway. I don't trust the Baltimore educational system. You motherfuckers have failed. I mean, you guys are out. Like 12 niggas sliding to first base. You're out. Done. Y'all remember a game called Bases Loaded for the NES? I'm showing my age, for the Nintendo. Do you remember? Y'all got your I read it, BPMB. I read it. The umpires' names was Yuck, Dumb, Boo, and Bum. That's Tank's whole team. Those are the umpires' names. Y'all remember that? Yuck, Dumb, Boo, Bum. That's Team Davis. Can you punch Tio in the face at least? Can you respond? No, you know how you get this little nigga to respond? Devin got to do something. Then he'll say something. That's why I don't like the kid. That's it. You try and get Lomachenko when he's like 1,004 years old, and he still suns you. And instead of y'all making a video a day, I'm talking about all you Tank channels, yet they should be a video a day dragging Lomachenko.
Let me ask you this question, and you can even make, if you make a poll of it, that would be great too. But this question I have: if Tank wasn't going to fight Lamont Roach, and he sent an offer for Devin to fight, do you think Devin would have accepted it?
Is that a question? Bro, Devin wants all the smoke.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, because remember, it's being it's being bantered about that nobody wants to fight the guy, right? But there was no effort to negotiate a deal. Hey, Devin, I know you had your loss or whatever, but hey, you finally want to get this work?
This is amazing. But he could pull up on a parking lot. I'm in your town. Okay. Was there a contract there? Turkey said, I got 50 million for you. He says, give me 2 Ferraris. That's how you knew the Baltimore educational system was messed up. I said, wait a minute, is there some new Ferraris I don't know about? Let me see, 50 million, 2 Ferraris. The 2 don't match. Huh? Man. Are you stupid or are you stupid? Those are your options. And I bet you he'll find another answer. I'm an idiot. No. I asked you, are you stupid or are you stupid? And you need to check one box. He fills in, I'm an idiot. Yeah, you really are dumb as an ape. You really are stupid. Just silly. But anyway. Why Devin gotta retire? And this is what I'm saying. It's rule to no contest. You filthy animals. It's rule to no contest. How come Tank, y'all don't want Tank to give Devin his first official loss? Watch this. Why was Tank telling Shakur, you want to fight me? Go fight Edwin De Los Santos again. Wait a minute. That was a dangerous fight. But Shakur won. Why are you telling me to go fight Dangerous De Los Santos again? You don't want to be the one to give Shakur's first loss? Did y'all even think about that? Take that L.
Since he liked picking the Latin fighters, why didn't he pick Edwin De Los Santos? Since he thinks so lofty of him.
Why didn't he fight Oreo at the full 140? Huh? Y'all keep sucking on this kid. I'm telling you, it's going to be bad when it eventually happens. Y'all better hope this kid goes undefeated in life. Because whatever the fuck he does, you know I'm going to be sitting right here like this. I don't care if he get a speeding ticket. You know why? Because people just send me shit. He better not look bad in no fights. He better not get knocked down. He better look outstanding. I'm telling you, all his fights better end in knockouts. Don't be going 12 no more. Because I'm going to get on here and I'm going to tell what? The truth. Win or lose. Win or lose. I'm going to be right here. Y'all better hope. Y'all better hope. Y'all better hope he goes out perfect. Y'all not holding his feet to the flames? Don't worry. You motherfuckers are sending pictures of Devin trying to get up off the floor after getting hit by a drug cheat. And then once you found out he's officially a drug cheat, y'all still on that?
Where are the pictures of the drug cheat with the IV in his arm? Why y'all ain't circling that around? Huh?
8 billionth of a gram? Listen. Your shorty leaves my crib. And somehow, for some weird reason, you swab her up and you find out there's a billionth of a gram of semen in that cheek. You simpletons will be like, well, it's just a billionth of a gram. She left my crib, nigga. Trust me. You only found the billionth. But when she left, she was carrying nuts in her cheeks like chipmunk stocking for the winter. I mean, straight rescue rangers, Chippendales type shit, because she was rescuing shit. But you only found the billionth. And if you can forgive that, that's cool. You guys are pathetic. That's the word. You guys are pathetic. For real. A billionth of a gram, 8 billionth, whatever the number was. Jesus Christ. But Devin needs to retire? Devin needs to retire? Who else needed to retire? You remember everyone said Wilder's done, he need to retire. Remember Stormy? Close your channels. Why would I do that? This is a boxing channel. Why would I do that? Errol lost, close your channel. Deontay lost, close your channel. Devin lost, close your channel. Everything was close your channel.
Listen,
No.
did we ever say AJ got knocked the fuck out? Close your channel. Did we ever say that?
You know why? You know why? Because we don't go over there to tell them that.
Exactly.
We don't care. I don't know what y'all talking about over there. I don't know. Magically, you know what we do over here. It's not magic. There's a British nigga right now watching me with his bald head, tugging on both nipple rings, so like, motherfucking too tight. Oh. Mad oiled. He peeled the banana and wiped it on his face. You're disgusting. My God. I don't know what you weirdos do. You know what we do. So why all the fighters we support gotta retire? Why they gotta retire? Huh? I've never heard anyone say, oh, Tyrone Gatti need to retire, man. Vladimir Klitschko need to retire, man. No one ever said this. I've never heard this. I've never heard this. Vladimir Klitschko got hit with the illest uppercut I've ever seen in his career by AJ. A fight that I supported AJ in, by the way. I supported him. When he dropped him, I was in my living room screaming, get up! Get up! Yeah! I was supporting AJ. Where were the uppercut memes for Vladimir?
Tyson Fury. Nobody's calling for him to retire.
No one's calling for him to retire.
To the big cocaine in the sky. Nobody is asking him to do that. When Usyk literally washed the guy. Usyk had that guy teetering from pillar to post. He looked like he had, what do they call that? When you, a person that can't handle being on a boat, what do they call it? You got what kind of legs? They call it on a boat when your unsteady legs on a boat. You know, I think there's a word for it. It's something legs. It's like ship's legs or something. It's like you can't handle it. You know, being on the rough seas. That was Tyson Fury against Usyk. Now Usyk wasn't noted as a puncher like Daniel Dubois, right?
Sea legs.
Sea legs. There you go. Thank you, Caesar TMG. Yeah. Listen, he had that. Nobody was calling for him to retire. And in the fight before that against Ngannou had him down by a left hook upside the head early in the fight. Nobody calling for Fury to, hang him up.
After the loss, I put out a video. He's drunk in a bar and had to get escorted out. And he's rolling in the street. And that's the second time we saw him drunk in public. No one says he should retire. What is this? What is this, really? He almost lost to Francis Ngannou, got dropped in that fight, right? But AJ got in there with Ngannou and got rid of him. Ngannou got rid of him. All right? And then he loses to Usyk. No one says retire. And then he's drunk in public, rolling on the floor with his father. This is real shit.
Is it any coincidence that in 3 fights, Usyk took care of 2 of those dudes, Joshua and Fury? How about that?
But he's supposed to retire though, right? No one says retire though, right? AJ got batted by Usyk 2 fucking times. Almost knocked Fury out. All right? No one is calling for these guys to retire. What the hell? but Deontay got to retire, right? And Devin got to retire, right? Man, if Bud lose, I can't wait to see what. I can't wait. Errol loses, he gotta pack it up. Y'all didn't say that about Fundora. He didn't even want to get up. He could have got up. He didn't want to get up. When Ryan quit against Tank, y'all ain't tell him to retire. You guys are frauds, man. You guys are the same people that allow ESPN to do shit like this. How you get to 14 without getting past 2? And I know this man lost his second pro fight. I watched it. But I'm on some watcher shit, man. Y'all see this bullshit? Whenever I see y'all in the chat doing something funky, I'm like, yo, you see this? This is crazy. You guys are disgusting. And since I'm on my Loma shit, I haven't played this for y'all in a minute. Because of y'all behavior, y'all allow things like this to happen.
Unified, undefeated. Unified, undefeated.
What?
Undefeated.
What?
Undefeated.
What?
Undefeated.
What?
Undefeated.
What?
Undefeated.
What the hell?
This is how retarded you guys are. You know why? Because we're surrounded by a bunch of...
And 450. N.
No N. Brandy.
You's a clam, nigga. You's a clam, nigga. You's a clam, nigga. I hate you guys, man. I hate you sympathizers and, you know. Do you understand?
Hey, where's that sound bite you got? I hate you so much. I like that.
I hate you so much, you fucking faggot.
Yeah.
You cats get on my goddamn nerves, man. I mean, seriously, man. You can't hold anybody accountable. Can you hold anybody accountable? No. I know you can't. Because you a bunch of monkeys.
Monkey!
Man, let's just do it.
Yeah, go on! Yeah, man, come on! Yeah, man, come on! Yeah, man, come on! Yeah, man, come on! Better than that!
Hey, I keep telling you, you need to find a way to edit in AJ trying to do that line dance in that video. That will make it. Listen, you got to do it, bro. You got to do it.
Yo, I'm working on a monkey video but it has to be. It has to be perfect, bro. I'm coming back with a vengeance, and I'm gonna release it on New Year's Day. The new monkey video. Salute to TD Hart, he said, Titan, you're silly. I'm on the job, bro. I'm on the job, man. The new monkey video for 2025, it's coming. Yeah, but man.
I'm telling you though, but to capture him trying to do that line dance,
he just
and put it in there to that beat with the rest of them. Oh man.
Yo, AJ is the only black person I know that destroyed the electric slide. I saw that. I said, wait, they bumping into each other and shit. I said, what is going on?
Hey, didn't he mess up trying to dunk too? Isn't there a video of him trying to dunk a basketball and he
was on. Okay, I'm gonna share the story again, y'all. After he lost to Andy Ruiz, at that time I was still following him on Instagram, and this is the day I stopped following him. I looked on my phone. I said, "Oh, he's live, and he's in New York." So then some brother walks by the court and he says he's on a basketball court, right? He says, "Yo, man, how you gonna lose to that fat boy?" He says, "No, I'll get him next time." And I said, wait a minute. I'm looking at the court. I said, hold on. That's West 4th. Now, why is that important? That's the Village. For those of you that are not from New York, the Village is the neighborhood. You know,
Miguel.
Beefy.
It's the neighborhood, y'all.
Where's the beef?
I don't know. He got in a cab. Now, Madison Square Garden's on 34th Street. Normally, the fighters stay across the street at the Pennsylvania Hotel. West 4th is literally 4th Street, 30 blocks downtown in the Flaming neighborhood. For him to go live down there, Art Man, salute, down there, when the sun was up, I said, wait a minute, what's he doing there? He could have went further downtown, right, to Just Spark, salute. Could have went further downtown to the 9/11 Memorial. Why was that his first stop? You have to ask the cab drivers where the neighborhood at. And you tell them what you're looking for, they know where to go. So AJ literally got into a cab. Where can I take you, sir? He was like,
where's the beef?
And they took him down to West 4th and they dropped him off, and he got out the car and he was like,
Beefy.
And then he goes live on his Instagram. I said, why is he in that neighborhood? Oh, I know why he's there.
Miguel!
You know what he was looking for?
Stupid butts.
A bunch of them. Yeah, I got knocked out, but I have to re-up. I have to recharge. We're looking for a lot of them. What you looking for, AJ?
Stupid butts.
In abundance. He's looking for
stupid butts.
In abundance. Unbelievable. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. Y'all say he don't need to retire. He got heart.
Stupid butts. Good night.
Y'all stay in the goddamn room with AJ. Y'all want to.
Get your hand off my penis!
I'll be hearing everything. Yo, he must be in the room. He must be in the room with AJ.
Get your hand off my penis!
And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis?
Oh, y'all going to hell, man. Yes, listen, that's a true story. I'm looking at my phone like this. I'm like, and you know what? I'm reading the chat. There was a few people like, yo, what you doing down there? I said, oh, they from New York. Listen, man, unless you're like making a delivery, you know, or, and don't get me wrong, they got jazz clubs in the area. You can go, you know, you can take your wife to a jazz club down there. But I'm saying, if you just down there just chilling, that's the neighborhood. You don't just, you feel me?
Get your hand off my penis!
Y'all never said he need to retire. So did AJ have heart when he got face planted? Did he have heart? Or does he need to retire? He got whacked around by yo, he got I'm going crazy with my soundboard, y'all. Y'all getting all this work. Y'all getting all of it. As soon as the bell rang with him and Usyk, all you heard was
Whack, jack, smack.
AJ, cut the ring off.
Whack, jack, smack.
He keeps hitting me.
Whack, jack, smack.
Go to your left.
Whack, jack, smack.
I'm coming for those belts, boy. Usyk was like,
whack, jack, smack.
Run that. Beat the shit out of him. Come on, man. Y'all gonna get this work. Wilder gotta retire, but I ain't heard none of y'all say that about AJ, right? Why? Because Wilder got skinny legs? Why? Get out of here, man.
Get your hand off my penis!
You guys are ridiculous. You're gonna be sitting down with AJ. All y'all, I'm talking to you UK boys now. You flamers. You're gonna sit down with AJ. Be like, yo, AJ, could you give me some advice? No, he's gonna tell you.
You got to wash your ass.
Now, why would AJ be telling you that? Why would AJ be telling you that? AJ, you know, I'm an up-and-coming fighter, and I love you, man. Why? Why do I keep hitting? Why do I keep getting hit with a left hand? What should I do? Well, for starters,
You got to wash your ass.
what? I don't get the connection. Why do I have to wash my? Oh, you coming to the room? Oh, okay. And then you hear,
Get your hand off my penis!
then you don't hear from this nigga for about 2 hours. But you hear a lot of commotion in that room. AJ just blasted your ass. Look, what happened to you?
Listen to this right here.
What's that on your face?
Bukaki.
Nasty work. Nasty work. I think AJ should retire just for being disgusting. Just because he smells seats. Shout out to Daniel Dubois. My God.
Hey, didn't Danny Dubois call himself the what did he say? The king killer or something, the champion killer or something? He called
That's
himself.
what he's called himself? He can call himself whatever you want to call himself now. And I'm gonna tell you something else. Y'all better be writing Eddie Hearn a lot of letters. Do not put him in there with AJ. Because the next loss like that, you better hope he retires. Because that was crazy.
I want to see it again. I want to see.
I do.
I want to see it again.
You know, don't say anything. Keep thinking that AJ could get that get back. Yeah. What if Joseph Parker listened to y'all assholes? For those of you that said he should retire after he lost to Joe Joyce. Look at them now. Organic outcomes. You see what I mean? You guys ain't ish. Where the memes at? Where the memes at for Tszyu? You knuckle jaggers, you're well trained. Y'all like making memes, right? Tszyu, y'all don't care about him that much? Oh, that's right. You just hate yourself. Goddamn. Your knuckles are big.
Monkey!
Your knuckles are big. Y'all go in there. Y'all like these types of conversations, right?
You can talk your brain now, motherfucker! Rolls out, he's a nigger! He's a nigger! He's a nigger!
Oh my god.
A nigger! Look, there's a nigger! Give power to my nigger sword!
Do your videos. Do your videos. Y'all know what Move is about? Yeah. I make you get creative. We make you get creative. Because if it's not about me, nobody cares about what you say. Nobody cares. And that's the truth. Stormy, let them know they can find you. I ain't gonna hold the people here. Queens of the Ring is on.
Everybody can find me right on YouTube and on Patreon. Stormy B-Man is the channel. That's Stormy B-Man, spelled in all caps, but no cap.
Yes, sir. Salute to all of y'all. Venmo, Zelle, Cash App, Super Chat. Pep Talk will be making this return tomorrow. I just need to take a break from that because I was tired. I'm a content creator, and that takes a lot of brain power. Sometimes you need a break. But Pep Talk will be back tomorrow night. You know what I mean? Tomorrow morning, I'll be discussing the Hall of Fame. Y'all get y'all weight up. You know, y'all tell y'all fat ass girlfriends to get their weight down. I'm just firing shots. Y'all niggas know who I'm talking to and what I'm talking to. I'm talking to Machine and a bunch of D-blowing stalkers. Y'all already know I'm gonna leave with it. I am 6'2", 220 with a six-pack and a 9-inch penis. I've won in life. How about you? Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, the Super Chat. See you tomorrow, Bronx on deck.
Move! Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
I'm gay. Gay, like super gay. Like one down here, one here, one here, one here gay. I thought you knew that.